This is the first video of 2020. It has been sort of a slow month for launches in Kenya and across the world, I believe. We're just getting into the cycle of smartphone, which will definitely be affected with the coronavirus situation in China. But anyway, today I have the Vivo Y19 for unboxing and first impressions and first thought. We're going to check it out. I'm going to share my own opinion on Vivo devices because I've been using, or rather I was using the Vivo Y19 Pro, and my review is coming up in maybe it will be up with the video at the same time. So Vivo have set a recommended retail price of 26,999, which is basically 27,000, and for that you're getting 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of internal storage, 6.5 display, and a 5000 milliamp battery, and the Helio P65. The Helio P65 is comparable to the Snapdragon 712 in terms of what they can achieve, so it's not a bad processor for that price. It's actually a recommended processor for that price. Here with me I have the spring white model, and yeah, so let's check out what's inside the box. Okay, so the knife is still here. You see on the box, Vivo decided to really remind you this is the Y19 by writing Y19 on each side. The back, you get the model number and the highlights of the specs, which is the battery, the fast charging, and that's quite it. So let's cut it and see. At the front you can see Vivo is reminding you this is the 4 gig RAM and 128 GB model. So you have to make sure you know which model you're getting. The packaging looks quite good. This is a nice presentation. There's a silicone case included and paperwork. It's written Vivo Smartphone Kenya, so this has been packaged especially for Kenya. The SIM ejector tool is also present. The silicone cover is the usual one you get with almost every device nowadays. Below that you get the device wrapped in some matte-like plastic. There's also that card that does nothing, just an inclusion, some stickers with your IMEI details. Let's put that to the side. You get the USB-C, it's not USB-C, you get the normal USB cable, which is the biggest drawback for this device. Then you get the 18-watt charger below that. Removing this is proving to be quite difficult, but okay, there it comes off. The phone felt quite heavy for... I didn't expect you to feel this. It's not very heavy, but it's bulky. There's the look at the speaker, the charging port, the microphone, and the headphone jack, and the other sides of the phone. On the right, there is the volume up and power. On the side, on the left rather, there's the SIM slot. Let's power it on and have a look at FunTouch OS. There is the option to use the fingerprint or the face scanner. I only trust the fingerprint scanner on such devices because the face scanner just uses the camera. There is no serious tech. Let's keep that for now. I'll set it up later. As someone who's used a Vivo phone before, I know that FunTouch is quite limiting, and the idea of having a very heavy UI of a normal Android makes it even hard for updates. That's why most or almost all Vivo phones are yet to receive Android 10, because just the company getting to the level where they can send out updates and maintain that is very hard because of all the customizations built on top of Android, which is quite limiting. Also, the customizations are not really good. Personally, for me, I feel like there's many things that I don't want, I don't need, many bloatware apps that I don't want to see on my device. I'd rather they were opt-in so that I choose what I want and delete what I don't want. Saying there's bloatware would make you think that there's very many pre-installed apps that you don't need. Actually, there's only a couple of apps. It's about 5, 3 from or 4 from Vivo and 2 from Google, which of course Google apps default on almost all Android phones. So the bloatware isn't really in terms of apps, it's in terms of certain inbuilt features that you don't see as apps. For example, things like Jovi, which is like Google Assistant but not really good, or things like options for themes that you don't really want. They're suggested on the other side of the phone, and just a couple of software features that are really annoying. For example, if you want to access your quick settings, you have to swipe from down. Things like notifications aren't easy to find, so there's a learning curve to that. Settings is jumbled up, so you'll have to really juggle your way around to find certain stuff. You can't see the full battery status and other small things. So for me, FunTouch feels quite limiting in as much as it tries to have so many options at the same time. As someone watching this video, I'm pretty sure you know about devices quite well, and that's why you are willing to consider and to watch videos before you get a phone. And if you're curious about getting a new experience, a new smartphone experience, maybe you should try FunTouch OS. Just know that you probably won't be receiving updates anytime soon, and if you're okay with that, you can try that experience. But if you're someone who loves updates, who swears by updates, you should know that here you won't be getting that. From my first impressions, this is quite a good looking display. The bezels aren't quite huge. At this price point, you can't complain about that. The back looks really good. It reminds me of the Vivo V17 Pro, but here the accents are sort of golden, and it reflects light in a sort of golden way. Maybe it doesn't seem as such in the camera, but that's what I'm seeing. The branding is the same. The camera lenses are very well aligned. I'm really concerned about the micro USB port in 2020 because you want a device that will last long, and you want a device that's sort of future-proof. With Vivo phones, there's 2 ways you're not future-proofed. 1, you're not assured of updates, and 2, you're not getting USB-C, which is the future of all ports, including iPhones. So if Vivo decided to put a USB-C port, this will be a very future-proof device. You could use it for the next 5 years, because every device in 5 years will be having USB-C, and it could still be a good device then. But if you're to use this in 2-3 years from now, you'll be feeling like you have an old device because of the port. I like the fact that there's a 5000 milliamp battery, and I'm sure that will last you quite long. I just hope the charging is quite fast, even with the included 18-watt charger in the box. So I wish it could support I hope it charges a little bit faster. There's also the point where this phone can be used to charge other devices, so you could connect the charger here and charge another device. Okay, so yeah, should you pick up the Vivo Y19 as your next smartphone? I think you should consider it. It's a good phone. In terms of hardware, the software is the limiting part, so you can expect to game, you can expect to do some heavy tasks on it. The only limitations, as I've already said, are in software, and I hope Vivo is looking into changing that, especially for the African market. We love updates, we love having the latest, and we don't want to get something that in the very near future will be old or obsolete. So I think Vivo should work on updates, should work on their skin, and if you're willing to go past that, then consider the Vivo Y19. Okay guys, so that's been it. This is the first video of 2020, also the first video edited on LumaFusion. I don't know how the experience will be, but I'm willing to just switch completely to editing on LumaFusion. And yeah, subscribe.